Mobility Monday. I am just about to start my workout for today, so I hope you will join me for that. And then please stick around because immediately after the workout, I am going to be doing my weekly Monday Mobility Challenge, and I would love for you to try that with me as well. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to see the exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So first of all, let's just talk about the equipment I'm using. You can see I have my dip bar here with me today. If you do not have a piece of equipment similar to this, I do recommend looking for one on AMRAP or Facebook Marketplace or something like that, because you can typically find fitness equipment on sites like that for a reasonable price, and I do think that this is a great piece of equipment to have. It doesn't have to be this exact same dip bar, but just something similar to this. The other thing you could do is look for old walkers. I have always been able to find an old used walker on OfferUp for $10, and you can easily use an old walker to do this. If you do not own anything and you don't want to buy anything, then another option is to consider taking your workout to the park. Plenty of parks have parallel bars and other types of fitness equipment that you can use. There's a park within walking distance of me that has parallel bars. It also has pull-up bars. So you can use a pull-up bar, whether you own one or you have access to one at the gym or a local park. You can very easily use a pull-up bar for the two exercises that I'm using my dip bar for. But if none of that's going to work, you really can substitute with any exercise that works your upper back. For our, what I call reverse push-up, they're really body weight rows, so you could also do bent over rows. So you can grab any type of weight, kettlebell, dumbbells, household items. So you could fill a backpack or a duffel bag with some sort of weight, or you could grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles. You could grab a big bottle of water, one of those big jugs of water or a jug of laundry detergent to use for weight. So get creative and use what you've got. If you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight, then just substitute with any push-up variation, okay? You don't need any equipment whatsoever to follow along. And then for the second exercise I'm doing with my dip bar, it's going to be knee raises. So for that, you can just substitute with any ab exercise you want, okay? So part one of the workout, we're just doing two exercises. I'm going to be doing what I call reverse push-ups on my dip bar, which is really a body weight row, and then I'm going to be doing knee raises on my dip bar. It's going to be a 10-minute AMRAP. So I am including this workout on my playlist of 10-minute workouts. If you chose this workout from that playlist because you specifically wanted to do a 10-minute workout today, you're just going to do part one with me, and then you can skip ahead to the cool down, do a quick cool down with me, and then remember to stick around and try the mobility challenge after that. I'm also including this workout on my playlist of 20-minute workouts because my workout is going to be 20 minutes long. I'm adding on a part two, but part two is just jump rope. So I have the lovely Victoria here with me today. Victoria is my beautiful silver jump rope with these pretty light pink metallic handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So if you click on the link and use coupon code RUDEBECCA, you can save an additional 10% on your jump rope. But you don't need a jump rope to follow along. First of all, you can just eliminate part two and make this just a 10-minute AMRAP, and that can be your workout of the day. If you would like to include a part two, then 10 minutes of any type of moderate paced cardio exercise you want to do is fine. So you can just pantomime jumping rope, that works, or you can just jog in place, you can do high knees. The other thing you could really do is just hop on the exercise bike or the treadmill or an elliptical if you have access to something like that for 10 minutes, and that can be your part two. You can jog, so if you have access to the field at your local high school, for example, you could do up and down the steps. That's one option, but you could also just jog around the track for 10 minutes. So for some people that might be 1 mile. If you're super fast, maybe you can run 2 miles in 10 minutes. For most people, I think maybe it's between 1 mile and 2 miles. So your part two doesn't have to be exactly 10 minutes long. My part two is going to be exactly 10 minutes long, but plus or minus about 10 minutes of any type of moderate paced cardio exercise you want to do is fine. So you can jog around your neighborhood, or you can do up and down the steps in your home or your apartment complex. If you are taking your workout to the park so that you can make use of a pull-up bar or parallel bars there, and then you can jog around the park. or maybe there's a local beach or hiking trail with steps. You can do up and down the steps. So just get creative. 10 minutes of moderate pace cardio, plus or minus 10 minutes of moderate pace cardio can be your part 2, or you can eliminate part 2, okay? So that's it, that's part 2. I'm going to be on intervals. So I'm doing 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals with my jump rope times 20 rounds. So the one thing you might want to get ready before we begin, besides your dip bar or pull-up bar and your jump rope, is a speaker and a playlist, because 10 minutes of jump rope with no music can be quite tedious, and it will make it go by faster, and it will make it much more enjoyable if you are listening to some music that you enjoy. So in addition to a piece of equipment similar to this, if you have one, and your jump rope, I would recommend getting a speaker ready before we begin. But that's it, that's part 2. So now for part 1, I'm just doing 2 exercises with my dip bar, starting with what I call reverse push-ups, because they look like you're doing a push-up upside down, but really it's a body weight row. We're working our upper back. So any exercise where you're working your upper back is fine. It looks like this. I'm going to come down underneath my dip bar, and I'm going to grab a hold of the handles. And then if you are super strong and you want to make this more advanced, you can have your legs straight, and then you're just going to bend your elbows and pull your chest up as high as you can, and then reverse the movement. I'm going to be doing that exercise with my knees bent and my feet flat on the ground. It's kind of the equivalent of doing push-ups from your knees as opposed to doing them from your toes. So bending your knees makes this easier. That's the version I'm going to be doing. So I'm just going to have my knees bent, feet flat on the ground in front of me, and then I'm just going to do the same exercise, bend my elbows, pull my chest up as high as I can, and then control the movement on the way down. So make sure you're not just letting your body drop down, make sure you're controlling the movement as you lower yourself back down. But that's it, super simple exercise. So again, if you have a pull-up bar, or if you have access to a pull-up bar, any type of pulling exercise. You may not be strong enough to do unassisted pull-ups, but you can have a chair or some kind of elevated surface to assist you, and you can place your foot on the chair. If you need to see that modification, please let me know. But you can do some sort of assisted pull-ups if you have access to a pull-up bar. If you're strong enough to do them unassisted, obviously you can do them unassisted. But the other thing you could do is bent over rows. That's another way to work your back, because I call these reverse push-ups, but if you think about the movement and what you're actually doing, you're really rowing your own body weight. So you can just bend over and row some dumbbells, or a heavy kettlebell, or a sandbag, a medicine ball. Household items will work, so you could grab a jug of laundry detergent, or one of those big 2.5 gallon jugs of water, okay? So just make sure if you're doing bent over rows, your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs should be super strong and tight and engaged. Make sure you're pushing your booty back, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels, and make sure that there's a slight bend to your knee. Do not lock out your knees like this. Soft bend to the knees, and just make sure that you're keeping your back as flat as possible as you row the weight. Make sure the movement is under control. So that's another option. But if none of that's going to work, any exercise where you're working your back is fine. So you can just do Supermans, or you can do chest lifts. So you could, for example, maybe just come down on your mat like this, extend the arms, and then just lift and lower your chest with control. So I'm bending my elbows as I lift my chest up off the mat as high as I can, thinking about trying to tap my elbows together behind my back. So that's an equipment-free modification. If you need one, it's a good beginner modification as well. But that's my first exercise. The second and final exercise is knee raises. So you can do hanging knee raises from a pull-up bar. So if you have access to a pull-up bar, you're just going to hang from your pull-up bar and then bend your knees and lift them up towards your chest. If you have access to some kind of parallel bars, so either an old walker or at the park, they have, a lot of parks have those. The park close to me has them. So you really can just do exactly what I'm doing with my dip bar at the park on some parallel bars, or you can use an old walker. Okay, so I'm just hanging from my dip bar like this, and then I'm going to bend my knees, lift them up towards my chest, straighten the legs, super simple. Lift and lower the knees. And that's it. That's all we're doing today. So part one is going to be a 10-minute AMRAP, AMRAP, that stands for as many reps as possible or as many rounds as possible. So we're doing 10 reps of each of those two exercises back to back, as many rounds as we can complete in 10 minutes. So 10 reverse push-ups or some kind of bent over row or chest lifts, whatever you're doing for your back exercise, 10 reps. And then 10 reps of knee raises, hanging knee raises, or if you don't have a pull-up bar or something similar to this, you can just do any ab exercise you want. Knee hugs, crunches, reverse crunches, sit-ups, doesn't matter. 10 reps of your ab exercise, and then you go back to your back. So 10 reps of whatever you're doing for your back, 10 reps of whatever you're doing to work your abs, back and forth for 10 minutes. Super simple. That's part one. Part two, I already explained, 10-second rest intervals, 20-second work intervals times 20 rounds. I'll be doing jump rope. You can do plus or minus 10 minutes of any type of cardio exercise you want, and that's it. So hopefully that is all clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and of course I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions. But then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how it all fits together, if you have questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions, if you need help with beginner modifications, I am always here to help. So please just ask questions if you have them. It's really important that you understand what we're doing. You have to understand what it is that you're asking your body to do, and you want to make sure that you really understand how to do these exercises with the correct form before you begin the workout. That is the most important thing, because that is going to help reduce your risk of injury. And of course, it's also going to just make sure that you get the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And if you're going to be out here putting in the work, you want to see the results. So we want to maximize those benefits. You do that by minding your form. So make sure you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin. And you guys know that it's also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. Also, please remember, especially if you're going to be working out along with the video, to make sure that you are going at your own pace. So if you are faster than I am, wonderful. Be faster than I am. Just to make sure you're not losing anything off of your form to get there. But if you are slower than I am, that is also wonderful, because as long as you're out here doing the reps and putting in the work, that's all that matters. Okay, so don't worry about how fast you're going. Worry that you're executing the reps correctly. It is always going to be safer and more effective to do fewer reps with excellent form than it is to do lots and lots of sloppy reps. So if you're slower than I am, great. Be slower than I am. Please do not race to keep up with me. Please do not race to stay ahead of me or beat my score. Go at your own pace and mind your form. You should never be sacrificing your form for speed. And just do your best, okay? Please just be smart, be safe, use your common sense. Do not push your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. And remember that your best is always good enough. So let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and begin the workout, gather whatever equipment you are using. So again, for me, that is my dip bar and my jump rope. So if you have a piece of equipment similar to this, or if you have a pull-up bar, get that ready. If you have a jump rope and you are jumping rope with me today, grab your jump rope. If you are doing bent over rows to work your back, then go ahead and grab some sort of weight. So kettlebell or dumbbells or sandbag is great if you have something like that. If not, you may be able to fashion something similar to a sandbag, or you can make use of other household items like a jug of laundry detergent, maybe just even a couple of water bottles or shampoo bottles. Then pause the video once you have all your equipment gathered, go ahead and get dressed, and then meet me right back here. We'll start with a little 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right into part 1 of the workout, which is our 10-minute AMRAP. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure you're not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. Your arms should be completely relaxed. You're letting gravity do all the work of just gently stretching the other side of your neck by simply using the weight of your arm. Now let's do the other side. So allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your shoulders should be down away from your ears. Now we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to start by just allowing your chin to fall first towards your chest and then towards the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just want you to start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier, allowing your range of motion to increase. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll until finally your entire torso is just kind of falling down in front of you. Now let's do some shoulder rolls. So just rolling your shoulders either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. But you want to really exaggerate the movement. Make big circles with your shoulders. Explore your full range of motion here. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we'll start small with our arm circles. So extend your arms straight out to the side and start by just making small circles, either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter, but gradually as the interval progresses, you want to just start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion. Make those circles as big as you possibly can. Now, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to bend your knees. Sweep your hands in front of you, and as you straighten your legs, you're reaching up as high as you can, stretching up towards the ceiling. Each time you bend your knees, allow your range of motion to increase a little more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. We're going to lunge side to side. Nice and easy. Adding the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm just reaching my arm across my body. It's like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're just going to march in place. So step the feet in and just march. Super simple. Knees are low to begin with, but gradually as the interval progresses, you want to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Really drive them up there. Feel a little stretch in your glutes, and now jog in place. Knees low to start, and then gradually start driving your knees up a little higher, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. A couple more seconds here, and then we're gonna do booty kicks. So we're still jogging, but now with each step, I'm bringing my foot behind me. Really try to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. Now for this next one, if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair for something for support. If not, hands on the hips is fine. Transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose, waking up those hip flexors. Other side. So you're gonna put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the other foot, and swing the leg front and back. You can start low, and then gradually as the interval progresses, you can start expanding your range of motion if it feels comfortable, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now extend the leg out in front of you. Bring it around and behind, making a little semicircle with your leg. Each time you make that semicircle, start lifting the leg higher and higher. And for the final 2 reps, we're gonna do a hip circle. So drive your knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around. Other side, extend the opposite leg out in front. Make a semicircle, bringing the leg around and behind you. Lifting that leg higher and higher each time. And for the final 2 reps, hip circle. Drive the knee up towards the chest. Use your hand to guide it around. Finishing up with a hamstring stretch. So feet wide apart. I'm using this post to assist me. You can use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch. Just helps if you use something to assist you. Can make it a little bit more comfortable getting into this stretch. Make it a little bit more accessible because it makes it easier to keep your back flat so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively in this stretch. And that's it. That's our little 5-minute warm up. So let's go ahead and get right into part 1 of the workout. This is our 10-minute AMRAP. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. This is 10 seconds just to get ready. So we're starting with our reverse push-ups or body weight rows, or you can be doing bent over rows. 10 reps. And now I'm doing 10 knee raises on my dip bar. So you can be doing any ab exercise you want. 10 knee raises. And that's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going back and forth between those 2 exercises, completing as many rounds as we can before our 10 minutes is up. So 10 body weight rows. I have my knees bent to make it a little bit easier. Just bending your elbows, lifting your chest up as high as you can, controlling the movement on the way down. If you're stronger than I am, you can have your legs straight. It's much more difficult that way. And now 10 knee raises. So just driving your knees out towards your chest and then straightening the legs. Remember, you can also be doing any type of pull-up exercise, bent over rows, or just chest lifts. 10 reps. And if you don't have access to something that you can do knee raises on, you can be doing any ab exercise you want. 10 reps. Rows. That's 5. I have to do 5 more, but these are just starting to get so tough. So remember to pause and rest as needed. That's 10. There's no designated rest interval for this whole part 1. So the goal is to keep moving the whole time, but of course you should rest if you need to. 10 knee raises. I want you to challenge yourself. Keep the rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue safely and with good form. That's 5 for me. I have to do 5 more. It's 10. 10 knee raises. Okay, that's round 5. I believe, for me. I want to continue, I want to try to at least complete 2 more full rounds. It's just getting really tough, especially these body weight rows. Just do your best. More. Remember, go at your own pace. Don't rest if you don't need to. If you're stronger than I am and you don't need to rest, don't rest just because I'm resting. But if you need longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or if you need rest breaks where I'm not taking them, you should rest as much as you need and whenever you need. Okay, I've got a little over a minute and a half left. I really want to finish at least 1 more full round, so I gotta push. It's just getting so hard to do these reverse push-ups. It's 5. 5 more. It's 8. 9. 1 more. And 10. I'm really struggling to get those done today. Okay, 10 knee raises. That's 10. I think that's round 7. I have 20 seconds left. It's enough time to do a couple of body weight rows. We'll see how many, probably just 2 or 3 at the most. 5. I think I'm on round 8. So whenever we do an AMRAP, you can stop now. That's 10 minutes. We've done as many reps as we could in 10 minutes. But because I'm so close to finishing this 8th round, I just want to go ahead and finish it. So I'm going to finish up with 5 more reps of my body weight rows. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just 10 more knee raises. That's 10. Okay, so I'm going to very quickly reset for round 2. If you're not doing round 2, use the chapter markers to skip ahead to the cool down. Do a quick little 5-minute cool down with me. First, do your bonus burpee. Remember, if you're not continuing on and doing part 2, your workout is not officially complete until you have done your bonus burpee. So do your bonus burpee, then skip ahead in the video, do a quick cool down with me. And then remember to stick around and do the mobility challenge with me. If you are continuing on with me, now is a good time to pause the video if you need to, so that you can towel off, get a quick sip of water, and just let your heart rate come down a little bit, let your breathing normalize a little bit. Try to keep your rest break to under 5 minutes if you can. I'm just going to very quickly reset, and then I'm going to get right into part 2. So for part 2, I'm just doing 10 minutes of interval jump rope. So I'm going to reset my timer. For 10-second rest intervals, low intensity 10 seconds, and high intensity 20 seconds. 20-second work intervals, 10-second rest intervals times 20 rounds. Make sure we're starting with our low intensity interval, and that is 10 minutes. So my timer is reset. So again, if you don't have a jump rope, you can pantomime jumping rope, you can jog in place, you can do high knees, any type of cardio exercise that you can realistically maintain for 20-second work intervals times 20 rounds. Or you can do up and down the steps, you can hop on the elliptical if you have one, exercise bike, treadmill, something like that. Plus or minus about 10 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio. Any way you want to get it done is fine. I'm going to be doing interval jump rope, so if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and get started on part 2 because I want my workout to feel more like one 20-minute workout as opposed to 2 separate 10-minute workouts. So I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1. Always starting with my rest interval so that I have a few seconds to get ready. And so I don't lose anything off of my first work interval. And now we are going to jump rope for 20 seconds. And now rest for 10 seconds. And we're just gonna do that 20 times, 10 minutes of interval jump rope. And that's part 2. So hopefully you used that little break in between parts 1 and 2 to get your music going. I forgot to remind you. 10 minutes of jump rope can be pretty tedious without music. listening to some music that you enjoy makes it much less tedious. Some might even say borderline enjoyable. It'll go by a lot faster if you listen to music. If I was not sharing this video on YouTube, I would be listening to music right now, just to make it not so, I keep saying tedious, but that really is the word for it. That long. I think that was our 5th interval, so we're already a quarter of the way there. So if you forgot to play music, you can pause if you want and get some music going, or you can just tough it out with me for another 15 intervals. Your call. To mention during the tutorial that you could be doing any style of jump rope you want. My brain was not ready to go. All right. See, I was just kind of jog in place while I'm jumping rope. This is our rest interval. But I'm just going to keep going through the rest interval because I lost so much time off of that last work interval. So now this is our 20-second work interval. So I'm just kind of like jogging in place. But if you're more comfortable jumping with your feet together, jump with your feet together, it's fine. If you're really good at jump rope, you can be doing a more challenging jump rope variation. You can do, oh my goodness, you can do like high knees or jump rope jacks. You can do a boxer shuffle. You can do twist jumps. You can jump from side to side. You can jump on one foot. And of course you can mix it up. You don't have to stick with the same jump rope variation for each interval. You can do something different with each work interval just to keep it from getting boring. The point is just to get your heart rate up for about 10 minutes after our little strength training portion. I think that's at least 10, right? I think we're more than halfway through at this point. So we're on the second half. We got this. Hang in there with me. It's just a few minutes left. know we're getting really close now. I think we might only have like maybe 4 or 5 intervals left after this one. So keep pushing with me. Yeah, only 4 more intervals. So it's less than 2 minutes left at this point. So keep pushing. If you trip over your jump rope, it's okay. Just take a deep breath and get right back into it as quickly as you can. As long as you're moving, keeping your heart rate elevated, that's all that matters. I know it's frustrating when you trip over the jump rope. Believe me, I know. I trip over my jump rope constantly. But you just don't want to let the frustration dictate your mindset moving forward. Nothing productive can come of that. You're just gonna sabotage the rest of your workout. If you allow that negativity to take over and kind of snowball. So if you trip, just do your best to leave it behind you. And just jump back in as quickly as you can. It's fine. And if you're tripping too much, she says as she trips over her jump rope, if you're tripping too much, just drop the rope. Start jogging in place or doing high knees or jumping jacks. Oh my goodness. That's our 10 minutes and that's part 2. Nicely done. That was a fun little 20-minute workout. Well, part 1 wasn't a lot of fun. I was crying during part 1, but part 2 wasn't so bad. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete. So let's just do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. And while you allow your breathing to normalize, so you can pace back and forth, you can shake out the legs. Make sure that you're focusing on slowing down your breathing, and you do that by breathing all the way down to your belly button. So really feel your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Allow your rib cage to expand and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. And then use your diaphragm to control the breath as you exhale. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. So just bringing one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulder is relaxed, otherwise you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. Make sure you're continuing to move, so you can pace, you can shake out the legs. I always just kind of shift my weight from foot to foot, and make sure you're continuing to focus on slowing down your breathing. So one more deep breath here, breathing all the way down to your belly button. And come out. Other side, so bringing the other arm across your body, using your opposite arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulder is relaxed so you can stretch it effectively. Really feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. It should feel wonderful. It does to me. Keep moving, either shaking out the legs, shifting your weight from foot to foot, or pacing back and forth. One more deep breath here. Breathe all the way down to your belly button. Control the exhale, and come out. Shake out the arms. Let's do a quick tricep stretch. So bend your elbow, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You want to avoid having this free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder or your elbow. So point those fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Make sure you're continuing to move, continuing to focus on your breath. One more deep breath here. And come out. Let's get the other arm, so bending the opposite elbow. Place your hand on the elbow, gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Again, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. One more deep breath here. Breathe all the way down to your belly button. Control the exhale and come out. Shake out the arms. All right, we're going to finish with a quick quad stretch. So you can hold onto the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch, your dining room table for support. Any kind of strong, stable, elevated surface will work. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side. If you're not holding onto anything for support, you can go ahead and reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. And then you're going to press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there. And as you do that, make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward, kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. As you do that, make sure you're continuing to really press your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify in your quads, and you should also feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. Let's come out, shake out the legs, and we'll do the other side. So bending the other knee, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side. If you're not holding onto anything for support, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek. Tilt your pelvis forward, tucking your booty underneath you, sucking that belly button all the way back to your spine. Really feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles. Feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. Make sure that as you are tilting your pelvis forward, you're continuing to really press your heel into your booty cheek. Let's take one more nice deep breath here. Remember, we're breathing all the way down to the belly button. Control the air on the exhale and come out. And one last time, shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That's our little cool down. So if you find that you're still breathing heavily or your heart rate is still elevated, you can take a few more minutes to pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a great idea, just to remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking the time to stretch every day. It is going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and of course it's going to improve your flexibility. So right now is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But you don't have to stretch immediately after the workout. You can do your stretching at any point during the day. Just remember that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you'll need to take a few minutes to warm them back up. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable enough so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. So please make sure you're taking the time to stretch every day, but please also make sure that you are doing so safely. And that's it. That's the warm up, that's the workout, that's the cool down. So now it is Mobility Monday, so that means that I found another mobility challenge on Instagram for us to try. I'm going to go grab my phone again and we will watch the reel a few times together so that we understand the movement. All right, so I am watching the Instagram reel right now. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. We'll watch it a few times together so that we understand what it is we are about to attempt. All right, mobility challenge. So she is using a plyo box. I will also be using my plyo box because I have one. But if you do not have a plyo box, I'm sure you can just use a chair or maybe even your coffee table, a piano bench, a weight bench, a park bench. I think any type of elevated surface that's about that height would work. So you see as she's kneeling in front of it that it's coming up to just about to her hips. So let's watch it again. So she's starting by kneeling in front of her elevated surface, and then she's just picking up one foot and then swinging that foot around, placing the foot flat on the plyo box. Now she's doing the other side, so pick up the foot. Now a little hip flexibility action here. Place that foot flat on the plyo box, and then she's leaning over and she's tapping her opposite elbow down on top of the plyo box, and that's it. It's a super simple movement, but I have a feeling that this one is going to be a little bit more difficult than it looks, so let's give it a shot and we'll see what happens. All right, so I have my medium plyo box here. This is the size she was using. I think this is also the right height for me. And I have my mat here. So you may want to grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat, or maybe fold up a towel if you need something soft beneath your knees. Now we're going to start by just kneeling in front of the plyo box. She had her hands clasped behind her head. I imagine you could have your hands on your hips or behind your back, or maybe crossed in front of you. The point is just, I think that you're not allowed to use your hands, but she had her hands clasped behind her neck, so that is what I will do. So now from here, we have to pick up one foot. So you're going to have to shift your weight into one knee. So make sure you have your balance. She was taking her time picking up her foot. And I'm gonna zip my lips so I can focus on what I'm doing, but I'm gonna pick up this foot and then we need to swing the leg around until this foot lands flat on top of the plyo box. So here we go. Okay, I kind of made it, but kind of not. I'm trying to figure out if it will help me to be a little bit closer or maybe a little bit farther back, but I had to use my hand to steady myself, so this attempt is already a fail, but I'm going to see it through to the end anyway, and then I'll see what I can work on. So now from here, I just need to twist my body thoracically, bringing my opposite elbow down to tap the top of the plyo box, and then reverse the movement. And now I need to pick up this foot that's on the plyo box, swing the leg back around. Okay, so I reversed the movement okay, but getting it up there was a problem. Now we have to repeat it on the other side. So let's see which side is easier for me. So now I need to shift my weight into the other knee. I'm gonna pick up the opposite foot. Now let's see if I can make this transition smoothly this time. Oh, much better. Okay, I did it. All right, so now all I have to do is twist, bring this elbow down, tap the top of the plyo box, and reverse the movement. Bring my torso upright, pick up this foot, swing the knee back around, and place the knee down. All right, so I almost did it. I cannot say that was a success because first of all, when I first got my foot up here, it kind of wasn't all the way on the box. It was like half off the box, and I don't know if that really counts. But even if I had kind of shimmied my foot into place, I did have to check my balance. I did let go with my hand and check my balance, so I failed. So if you also failed on that first attempt, don't worry. Remember, warped wall rules. We always get 3 chances. So as long as you are able to successfully complete the challenge by that 3rd attempt, that means you did it. That is a success. So if you were successful, congratulations. This one, I was right. This is harder than it looks. But it's actually, I think, going to be doable for me. I might not get it within these next 2 attempts, but I feel like I will definitely get it eventually. So if you were successful that first time, well done. Do it again with me anyway in solidarity, okay? I need the support. And then you can just kind of work on cleaning yours up a little bit maybe, unless it was already picture perfect, in which case, all right, congratulations, you're done for the day. But if you would like to do it a couple more times in solidarity, I am going to hopefully get the challenge successfully with the second attempt, and then I'll do it a third time regardless, but hopefully the third time I can just work on cleaning it up. I would really love to complete the challenge successfully before my third attempt so that I'm not freaking out that I'm going to miss my first ever mobility challenge. Okay, so here we go. When you're ready, attempt number 2. So kneeling behind the plyo box, hands clasped behind the head, shifting my weight into one knee. Now I'm going to carefully pick up this foot, swing the leg around. Did it! And now twist, tap the elbow, reverse the movement. All right, so I was successful on the first side. Now let's try the other side. So shifting the weight towards the opposite knee, pick up the foot, swing the leg around, place the foot flat on the plyo box, twist and tap the shoulder or elbow. I know my body parts. Okay, now we're gonna pick up this front foot, swing the leg back around and return to the starting position, and that's it, we did it. Woo! All right, so my second attempt was successful. The second attempt was a lot easier. I think I just kind of needed to get it into my body a little bit. So hopefully, if you were not successful with that second attempt, it was at least cleaner, and maybe at least you feel like you're starting to get it. So if you were not successful, we get one more chance. I am going to do the third attempt with you anyway. You guys know that I always like to keep working on these mobility challenges, getting them looking as clean as I can, because tomorrow I will be sharing my own Instagram reel of this challenge. So if you are not following me on Instagram, please follow me on Instagram at BugSusan. It's also linked in the description box down below the video. But I will be sharing this as an Instagram reel tomorrow. I will also share it on YouTube. I'll share it as a YouTube short. So look for that tomorrow. So if you were successful, let's do it once more anyway. You can work on cleaning yours up with me. And if you were not successful, take a deep breath. And let's try it one more time. Third and final attempt as soon as you're ready. So kneeling in front of the plyo box, hands clasped behind the head. Shift your weight into one knee. And now pick up your opposite foot. You're going to pick up the leg, swing the leg up and around. Place your foot flat on the plyo box. Now twist your body thoracically as you bend down and tap the top of the plyo box with your elbow. Reverse the movement. Pick up this foot, swing it back behind you, return to your starting position. Now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So shift your weight towards the opposite knee, pick up your other foot, swing the leg around and in front of you, place your foot flat on the plyo box. Now lean forward, twist your body thoracically, tap your elbow down on the plyo box and reverse the movement. Pick up that front foot, swing the leg around and behind you and return to your starting position, and that's it. We did it. So I actually thought that one was kind of fun. It was harder than it looks, but not as difficult as I expected, if that makes sense. So I'm very happy that I was able to successfully complete the challenge, and hopefully you were able to successfully complete it as well. Let me know how you did with it, but for me, that is another successful Monday mobility challenge in the books. So that is it. That's all I have for you today. So if you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear with the format of today's workout, how everything fits together, if you have questions about any of the exercises that we were doing today, any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I'm always here to help, so please just ask. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I just have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I will give you today's secret code phrase of the day. It is, I'll roll down the window. So if you are still watching this video, hello, thank you for watching all the way until the end. Please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment that says, I'll roll down the window. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.